where I help naturally quiet people to overcome social anxiety, play to their strengths, and develop a thriving lifestyle. Was coaching a client today on the topic of letting go of grudges, which inspired this live stream that's happening right now. So the question is, if someone's wronged you in the past, why let that person dominate your precious conscious mind? Why let them take up mental real estate, living rent-free in your head? They've already wronged you once. So the more that you dwell on, go over, and react to the insult, the incident, the more you're wronging yourself. The question is, okay, someone's been an a-hole, they've wronged you. Do you want to let that person stop you moving forwards in your life? If that person told you to quit going to the gym, quit getting fit and healthy, would you listen? If they told you to stop working on your diet, would you take notice? If they said, don't make any more progress in your career, your business, your goal, your dreams, would you allow them to stop you? Probably the answer is no. And if the answer is no, you wouldn't let that person stop you, then why would you allow the memory of that person to stop you? The memory of an incident with a person, why would you allow that to stop you achieving your goals in life? That's not fair on you. It's not fair on society, family, people that love you and care about you because you have so much value to provide. If only you can get past these grudges, these pockets of resentment, negativity. Hate weighs heavy on the heart, and the more you can let go of it, the easier life gets. Carry yourself lightly. If you're running up a mountain, why have a weighted rucksack on your back when you can just drop the rucksack and make it a whole load easier? Something that has really helped me naturally to overcome grudges, people that might have bullied me in high school when I was a lot younger and not as confident as I am today, family members, clients when I first started out. What really helped me to let go of grudges is optimism. I've always been very, very optimistic, and this is something that I really trained myself to get better at when I was younger. So optimism is huge. Having positive assumptions about people rather than negative. So even if someone's wronged you, it doesn't mean that that person is a bad person. They've got a bad heart. Maybe they're a good person. But of course, at the same time, it doesn't mean be overly trusting and naive and make yourself vulnerable. You have to have your boundaries and learn your lesson. But also forgive that person. The purpose of forgiving that person who's wronged you is to allow yourself to move on and live a better future. The only reason to hold on to a painful event from the past is if you feel you've not got all the value from that experience, if there's still more to learn. When you've learned your lessons, it's now time to let go. And actually, the reason that traumatic experiences stick in our brains is because on some level, we don't believe we could handle this situation. The situation that was traumatic registers in our brains as a life-threatening event, and we don't believe we're equipped to handle it. But when you learn your lessons and you find a new way to deal with this same situation in future, you're now able to move past it and let go, because that situation which was a threat to the past you is no longer a threat to the present you. And often what traps people in hatred and holding grudges is not believing that it's possible for them to succeed in their goals in life. But this is what I think. We've been around for millions and millions and millions of years of evolution. Humans, we're meant to be here. We are good enough. Our genes, our DNA are 100% good enough to survive, reproduce. We belong. If we didn't do, we would have been selected out during the natural selection process millions of years ago, as plenty of species have been. So everybody that's here today deserves to be here on the planet. We're all good enough. I also believe that just like there's a whole bunch of different kinds of animals in the jungle, there's a whole bunch of different kinds of human. We all have different strengths and weaknesses, the different types of human. And that's how it's supposed to be. It's so much better for us as a species if we have different types, if there's different types of humans with different strengths, and we can all collaborate. If everybody was really good at the same task and really bad at other tasks, we would be less successful. So it makes sense from an evolutionary perspective why there's different kinds of humans. And what this means is that you know for certain that you don't have bad genes. There's nothing wrong with your DNA, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And of course, there's mutations that happen, but overall, you're here, so your DNA is fine. If you're struggling in life and you're not finding your strengths, you're finding things really difficult, it's probably because you're trying to be something you're not. You're trying to, that like test where there's different holes with different shapes, and you put different pieces into the hole. So a triangle with a triangle, square with a square, circle with a circle. It's a bit like you're trying to put the wrong shape in the wrong slot. So, for example, some people have amazing logical, analytical skills. They're brilliant at that. Other people are fantastic when it comes to stamina. Amazing energy, never run out, can just keep on going. Some people are really good at listening and inspiring other people, looking after other people. Some people are very good at doing the brutal things. There's a whole bunch of different types of people with different strengths. So if you're struggling, what you need to do is figure out what kind of person you are and what your natural strengths are. Even if you haven't trained in these areas, you will have natural strengths. And what this means is when you start pursuing a path that aligns to your natural strengths, you're naturally going to be really good and have a much easier time. And the potential's way higher. The potential for success, much higher. So before becoming a coach, I did a PhD in pharmacology. I got by, I passed, I wrote my thesis. I could have published, but I did okay. And I was able to get by on super, super hard work, crazy long hours, going against the grain. Some people were absolute naturals in the lab. Some people were better at writing. People had different strengths. For me, I'm much better at coaching. I have high levels of empathy. My personality type is a defender, which means that when I see other people being unfairly treated, I like to stand up for those people. And also, my previous life experience, overcoming crippling social anxiety, depression, so many different things, some traumas. This made me really, really good at coaching naturally. And me pursuing this path rather than being stuck in a lab doing scientific experiments. This is more suited to me, plays to my strengths, and there's a deep purpose and passion behind it because of personal experience. What this means is I'm going to be a lot happier doing this. I'm way happier. And the potential for success is much greater. And I'm having a much easier time. So if you feel a bit lost right now in life, you're holding on to grudges, you're struggling to achieve the success that you'd hope to achieve, it's quite possible that you've just not found the area that's right for you. When you find that area, that lifestyle, that career path, that pursuit, you're going to have a much easier time. And also, so that's going to help you to build up that self-belief and motivation to believe you can do whatever you set your mind to within reason. And the grudges are just stepping stones. Every time someone wrongs you, it's life experience. There's always something you can learn from that, and you can use the energy in any way that you want. You can't control that past event, but what you can control is how you choose to respond to it. That's entirely up to you. When I got mentorship, my mentor said to me that, your past, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. It's your responsibility now to decide what you want to do about it. So take responsibility. So what, you've had some challenging encounters, a few battles in your life. That can make you a much stronger person. If you look at people that are highly successful, they've often been through lots of scarring and challenging situations in their life. And they've used that as fuel and motivation to become better, stronger, and achieve whatever goals they've set their mind to. So the grudges can be a blessing if you respond to them in the right way. And apart from death, you can come back from anything else. Even if you have to change to quite a substantial degree, that's still doable. The person that I am today is very different from the person that I used to be. So I know for a fact that if I can change, and I can change in every single area of life, other people can do the same, since I'm just a regular guy, not cut from a different cloth. I used to struggle in every area of life, whether it was the career area, relationships, romantic, friendships, general confidence, lifestyle. I used to struggle in all of these areas. When I was in high school, I had jaundice. I had bright yellow skin. I used to get picked on for the yellow skin every single day. And my mum worked in the same high school, which was super embarrassing. I had zero social skills, zero boundaries, zero confidence. Was just this lost person. I felt soulless. I felt crushed. I felt hopeless at that time in my life. Now, I genuinely feel like I'm thriving on all cylinders in all areas of life. So dramatic changes are 100% possible Hey, Taran. Great to have you on this live stream. So, what I was saying was that you can't control your past. Your past isn't your fault, but you are responsible for your present, the present moment, and you're responsible for your future. And you can choose how you want to respond to your past. And if you have the positive, right mentality, every time someone wrongs you, there's always something you can learn. You can always grow as a result. Even if that growth is just handling a challenging situation and then handling it so well that when you're faced with a similar situation in future, you handle it even better. Overcoming triggers. Maybe you can change your behavior in future to stop repeats of that situation. Maybe you can work on your strength. Okay, I'm going to allow that person to underestimate me. I'm going to allow that person to think that I'm an idiot, to think what they want to think about me, because I'm not worried about what they think. I'm worried about what I think. So absolutely, and high school is where most people pick up these problems and challenges with confidence and social anxiety. But actually, what's important is how you respond to your past. That's all that matters. If I hadn't been through a challenging time in earlier life, I'd probably be somewhere in the middle right now. But because I started off at the bottom of the ladder, bottom rung, and I was in that place, I experienced that for a long time, that motivated me to push, and keep on pushing. And I'm still pushing to this day. So it's really about, it's up to you what you want to do with that. Yeah, I actually relate to both of those things that you're saying, Taran. So back in high school, I didn't have friends personally back then. So I relate to the loneliness. And also, I felt completely closed off at home as well as in high school. So I was just in this shutdown mode where I would isolate myself from people, never open up, never have conversations. I literally didn't understand what conversations were. I just say the odd word, borderline mute. And that's true. If you live an average life, it would be hard to find the motivation to do something extraordinary in your future if you'd had a very plain, normal, and average childhood. So if you have a challenging childhood, it can go one of two ways. Either you get destroyed by it and you flatline and your future is pretty bleak. Or alternatively, you say, do you know what? I'm better than that. I'm going to go out there and choose to win. I don't care what anyone says to me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. Failure is not an option. Even if I do fail, it's just success in disguise. I'm going to fail my way to success. So ultimately, it is down to you, and it is possible, but that doesn't mean it's easy. It's going to take a lot of hard work over a long period of time, sticking on that right path, no matter how tempting it is to get pulled into negativity, pulled into distraction, pulled down the wrong way. You have to keep on going because there's always going to be opportunities that arise that are really, really helpful for you. And if you get caught sleeping, you're not awake, you're not alert and ready, you're going to miss out. One example of that today. So I really enjoy working with one of my current clients, Liam. Great guy, get him really, really well. And I've been helping him face his fear of changing career and several other fears as well. If I wasn't motivated, determined, and focused, I wouldn't have helped out Liam to the degree that I already have. And my determination and focus in today's session really, really helped him out a lot. And he's going to do another program with me. He's going to do 9 more sessions, and he's agreed that today because I had an impact on him, a good tangible impact in today's session. And I knew that motivation was the thing that was going to help him out the most. So before going to the session to coach Liam, I went to Park Run, which is this 5-kilometer run that's like loads of people go to it. There was around 700 people there today. So I got up early, went to Park Run, got a really good time, just went all out, went for it, finished pretty well. Then I went to the gym, did my cold shower, my steam room sauna, and all these different things. Got to town early. I focused on the session, made sure that I was motivated and ready, turned up, and I made sure that I shattered his limiting beliefs, got him motivated, taking action. And now he's really, really determined, and he's getting his job applications in, getting stuff done, facing that fit. I mean, that sounds like an interesting experience. And my question there is, so it's great that you preferred being around different people, and something being a bit smaller can be a bit nicer. And I guess, what was your experience of that? I mean, you said you preferred it. Okay, so you probably remember, Taron, when I coached you one time, and we were walking back, and you spied someone that you recognized, and I left you as I was going into the Sports and Fitness Centre at University of Birmingham. So that's where I go. So my general routine on most days, because I'm always working on myself as well as my coaching other people. So I basically get up and I do intermittent fasting. I meditate, I educate myself, and then I do a 10K run. I do a full strength training gym workout. I do cold shower sauna and intervals, and then I get on with whatever business tasks I've got lined up for the day. Usually coaching, but it could be another task like finding a venue for an event, which I did yesterday. And all these disciplines, they train the mind, they train your focus, because most of life is you versus yourself. And it's you keeping on believing in yourself, always going, always moving forwards, regardless of what challenges you're facing. You're probably climbing a mountain in your life, which takes time. So you have to patiently make progress each day and not throw the towel in. If you make progress for a while, then throw the towel in, you start to slide back down. And that's a pattern that a lot of people fall into. I used to fall into that pattern before being coached. I would be making reasonable, decent progress by myself, sabotage, fall back a bit, then keep on moving forward. So it was like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And that's very, very interesting. So it's quite a small school. And what that shows is something that is a truth, which is that us humans are really, really good at adapting to new situations. And that's good. You had a decent time there. You learned some stuff. And that is an interesting point, that humans adapt to situations, whether they're positive or negative. And what that means is, if you have a lifestyle that currently challenges you, don't panic or worry. You can adapt to that. Outside of your comfort zone is a nice place to be, as long as you're not overwhelmed. And you can adapt and expand all the time. So yeah, I go to that particular fitness center most days a week, probably 5 times a week, I would say. And it's great. Being around other people that are working on themselves in health and fitness, in all areas of life, is beneficial. It keeps you motivated, keeps you driven. If you're around people that are not working on themselves, not moving forwards, it can make it more challenging for yourself. So getting around good influences is massive. And also being patient with yourself. And I think that experience that you've had to run, being surrounded by all different types of people, like you said, some needed just a little bit of support, others needed a lot more support. You had a really interesting and different perspective, different experiences to learn from. And a lot of people that have been to a mainstream school, they won't have learned the same things that you've learned, because they've had a different experience. And what that means is you have a lot of knowledge and insight from that unique experience, which is valuable because other people don't have that. So it means that you're going to have a different perspective, different understanding, which is a good thing. And that's something that I really enjoy about these coffee socials that I put on. Different perspectives. Everybody that comes has a different life history, different experiences, different backgrounds, different personality types. Some more challenging than others, but a bunch of different people. And that means that there's so many perspectives going out there. It's interesting, it's stimulating, thought-provoking. And because the overall intention's good, most people come away learning stuff. At the very least, more educated on different topics. And David Goggins is an amazing example of someone who always pushes himself. Basically a real life superhero. If you don't know this guy, definitely check him out on YouTube. Always videos of him running, motivating other people. And lots of successful people, they want to be around other successful people. They say it can be quite lonely at the top. And also, you want people who are going to pick you up and uplift you, not people that are going to drag you down and drain you. And that's why it's important to be around people that support your growth and progress in life, people that believe in you and they help you to believe more in yourself, and to remove yourself and spend as little time and energy as possible around people who do the opposite. If you're around people that truly believe in you, back you, support you, and push you, and you're around these people on a regular basis for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, you're going to be a lot further ahead in life. And exactly, so the truth is that most people are good people, but there are some challenging people too. And this is great life experience. I'm actually happier as a coach that you've had both experiences. In general, very, very positive, great experiences, and also some challenging people. And with the challenging people, it's all about how you respond to that situation. It's a learning opportunity. The positive experiences are great. The negative ones, they're also great because they're a learning opportunity. And I've had the same. The vast majority of people that I coach have been really appreciative, in general enjoyed it and got value from it. Some people have got more value than others, but in general, very, very small number of people who haven't been happy, and the vast majority happy. Some people have been challenging, difficult to work with. Others have been great to work with. And that's life experience. I'm always learning, every single day, all the time. And it's great that you're having this experience now of forming relationships with different kinds of people and starting to understand how different people operate. And sometimes you go, okay, I like this person, but you might develop an instinct and you know that maybe you can't trust them 100%. So you still spend time and get to know them, but also you're not naive as well. And other times you genuinely don't know how you're going to get on with somebody. You have to spend time, give them a chance, and see how it pans out. And yeah, I agree. It's an interesting point, and you've probably heard the phrase that, even though I don't fully agree with it, you've probably heard the phrase that you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around with most, and that is true for a lot of people. Not everybody, but for a lot of people. It's easy to take on the views of those around you, to conform to other people's their version of reality. And if you're around negative people who are complaining all the time, it's easy to follow suit and become like that. But also, it is possible to break apart from that, and it is possible to spend time with negative people and not take it on, providing that you're not living with negative people and you have your boundaries in place. But negativity is very, very toxic, and it can be contagious as well. And it's up to you to break that chain. If someone's negative to you, it doesn't feel great, it's not easy, but you have to be able to let go of that, move on from that person, and not let that spread to somebody else. Somebody being negative to you doesn't mean you have to be negative towards somebody else. As hard as it is, you can break that chain and you can do the right thing. Otherwise, you're letting the person that's negative towards you, you're letting them be negative towards somebody else. You're passing it on rather than stopping it in its tracks. And of course, we're only mere humans. So if you're just surrounded by negative people all of the time, there will be a limit to how much you can stomach and take. And that's why you need to have some me time, find a way to get yourself into positive environments, minimize the time around these people, practice not engaging with their negativity. And absolutely, and you might meet somebody and think, do you know what? I get on really, really well with this person. We're going to be amazing friends. And that could be true. Some occasions it will go that way. Other times it won't. But the great thing is you can spend time with somebody, get to know them, and make your mind up. And you have that power. If you're around somebody and they have some negative traits and it's not making you feel good, you're not obligated to keep on spending time with that person. And it's interesting that you've come to that conclusion. And actually, I obviously don't name names, But obviously, I know we're talking about the same person, someone that I used to coach, and I came to the same conclusion. Someone with a good heart, good intentions overall, but also with a bit of a dark side to their personality as well. And I saw that start to come out over time. And as I became more aware of it, warned this person, and I made my boundaries very, very, very clear. And several times they were crossed, so I had to cut ties with this person myself. So that was the decision that I came to. And it seems that on this occasion, you're coming to a similar conclusion for you. And as we both understand, every relationship's unique. The way that I know you is different than the way that you know other people. Every interpersonal relationship is unique, and just because I might not get on with somebody doesn't mean that you might not have a blast with them. But also, it's possible for us both to have a challenge with the same person. And that's absolutely fine. You know, you don't have to do any rash decision. It's completely up to you how you want to let this play out. And often, the best solution is space. That's the best solution. And how much space you want is completely up to you. You might just spend a bit of time by yourself and away from this person, and then decide how you're feeling. There's no rush to come to a decision, but it seems that time will figure out the solution for you. And at this stage, we don't know what the solution is going to be. Maybe things start to change. You hang out again in the future, actually have a good time, and you start to get on better. It can go that way. Maybe things stay the same. We just genuinely don't know at this stage. It's too early to see. And in a way, it's kind of good that we don't know. You can just enjoy the show of life playing out. It's almost like there's a play going on a stage, and it's developing the way it's meant to develop. And that's fair enough. We all have our own values and ways of doing things, and it's good that in general you're getting on with most people. I would say that I'm the same. There's not that many people who dislike me. I could name them on one hand, and the vast majority of people I have a good relationship with. And really that says a lot about your character. If you're in general getting on with most people really well, and there's only a few people who you've had to cut out of your life, that generally suggests that you must be a good person, which is nice to know. But yeah, the great thing is about friends is that unlike family members, there's no blood tie, so you can choose to play it out how you want to. If you need space, you can have space. If you want to spend more time with them, you can. You get to be the judge of that, and there's no pressure as well. Whatever way it's meant to go, it's going to go that way anyway. So you might as well just enjoy the process, and also keep on making new friends, getting new experiences, moving forward, enjoying yourself. It's important to do that. There's no point in always moving forwards in life if you're not enjoying yourself. You have to enjoy the process as well as make progress. But yeah, I'm excited about this month's event next Sunday at 2 p.m. should be really interesting. I've gone for a venue which I've done a number of events at in the past, called the Medicine Bakery, and I've basically booked 2 different booths, and hopefully there'll be 30 people, 40 people there, something like this. And I've got some different exercises and activities planned, so it's a great opportunity for people to push their comfort zone, make new friends, have some fun, get some more life experience. So it's going to be an interesting one. And because I've done so many at this place, and we've all spoke to the staff, they kindly give me this space for free as well. And it's a really, really nice space, really nice room to be in. So yeah. I agree. I think that's a good compliment. I'm a difficult person to dislike. And the truth is that I don't want to say this in an arrogant way, but sometimes good triggers evil. And if you're a really, really good person, there'll be that odd person that gets jealous of you, is offended, whatever it is. There's the odd person who just randomly won't like you, and that's their issues. And absolutely so. So because, of course, everyone's gonna buy a drink, a coffee, something. So overall, it should be fine. And same with you, Taron. I mean, like you said, there's very, very, very few people who dislike you. Such a small number that it means that you can't be a bad person. You can't be someone without a good personality. Otherwise, that wouldn't be the case. And it's okay to drift apart from some people as well. That just happens in life. People end up going on different paths and branching out. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person or they're a bad person. There is drift aparts that happen sometimes. And sometimes people that drift apart reunite and become friends down the line as well. So you never know how things can pan out in the future. But you don't need to worry about that. You can just enjoy your life and let things go the way they're meant to go. But yeah, if you're looking to let go of grudges, it's all about how you respond to situations. And I would recommend getting around people who are motivated and taking action. Park run is a great thing to go to. A free 5K run every single Saturday at most cities in the UK. Going along to that, joining a gym, a running club, going to my meetup events and other meetup events as well. Public speaking organizations where people are working on themselves, improv comedy, getting around people who are into personal growth and are growing themselves to keep on motivating you to move forwards. And if you keep moving forwards and just don't stop, there will be a point in time where you'll be shocked at how much progress you've made. And when you're shocked at how far you've come, it makes sense to just never turn back and carry on the path that you're on. So, it's definitely a compliment. So I think you get on with most people well. Like you said, I've very, very rarely seen people that seem to dislike you. Most people seem to gel with you really, really well. Zero. Zero people have complained to me about you, yeah, I've not had any complaints. So that's a really, really good sign, because I've had people complain about other people, but I don't recall anyone complaining about you in a conversation with me. So certainly a good sign. And because I'm always making progress in my life, looking for ways to improve things, that's why I'm doing more frequent, more consistent live streams and videos for social media, keeping it up, getting that momentum behind me, loving my events, enjoying the coaching. And now I'm going to take the social media more seriously as well. And yeah, I think that's a fair judgment. So you're saying that there's a few people who you get on with super well, a lot of people who you get on with okay, and some people who you just don't get on with. I think that's great, and that suggests that you're authentic and you're being yourself. We're not social chameleons. We're not meant to get on super well and be best friends with everybody. We're supposed to be able to get on well with most people, but only be amazing friends with a small number, quality over quantity. And absolutely, it's growing. When I started out, I had no shows at my events, or times where just I turned up. There was one time where you was the only person that turned up to run. I'm sure you remember. Times with 4 people, 5. And now there's more than 40 people, and there's over 500 people in the group itself. So you have to go through that. And now I will say this to be honest as well, not to criticize others, but I've seen new meetups out there where they're putting on events and they're cancelling the events the day before. They're putting on coffee socials and cancelling them the day before. And it suggests that they're not really committed, they're not organized, whatever it is. In my case, I've put on 33 events so far, never cancelled one. I've been there early to every single event, and my 34th event next Sunday. So consistently showing up over time leads to growth and improvement. And my events are one example of that. Initially, no people or a few people, now over 40. And I was joking with a friend. He made the joke quite recently, saying, imagine fast forwarding to 2030, your coffee events keep growing, and suddenly you'll be having 500 people at your events. And that sounds really, really good. So you're saying that you're learning to genuinely feel more comfortable just being yourself, not worrying too much about what other people think or say, but also you're being kind and accommodating to them as well. And the key there is the word you said, it's balance. And it's almost like a sweet spot. And the more time you spend in that balance, the better it gets. At the start, it might feel like a tightrope. Over time, the rope gets thicker and thicker and thicker until it becomes natural and easy to be in this place. And that suggests a lot of growth. If you're feeling comfortable being yourself, and also you're making others feel welcome as well. I'm always working on these things myself as well. It's an endless journey, personal growth, and that's the great thing, really. And what I'm going to do in a short while is I'm going to sign off this live stream because I also do live streams on Instagram, and I view all these different areas of the business. It's a bit like a garden. I'm watering seeds, putting stuff out there, keeping on going, and things grow over time. I've spent most time so far watering the seeds at my events, my in-person stuff, my coaching, doing a bit of YouTube, a little bit of Instagram, but I'm still going. And I think boundaries with people is super valuable, and it is one of the most what's the word for it? It's probably the area of life that takes the most time to make progress. And say in my case, how long does it take to get good with boundaries from scratch? If you don't have great boundaries to start with, you're probably looking at 2 to 3 years. If you take a lot of action, you keep on learning, you keep on growing, 2 to 3 years. In other areas of life, you can make much faster progress, health and fitness, being more confident, speaking more. Boundaries take time, but ultimately, don't worry about it taking time. Just live life one day at a time, keep making progress, and enjoy your life. And you'll thank yourself when you look back at the progress you've made down the line. The best shortcut to know is that there isn't a shortcut. You've got to put the honest hard work in. And the truth is that all these skill sets are things that you can learn, but no one else can give to you. You have to get your own experience and get them to work for you. So you've got to constantly be at the workshop of personal development, in the arena, the ring, taking action, living, learning, and keep on going. So it's not an easy journey. I wish I could tell you it would be a really, really easy, plain sailing journey, but I'd be being a bad coach and lying to you. It is hard, it is challenging, it is difficult, but I don't think anything that is amazing and worthwhile is probably going to be quite challenging. Absolutely. When you're starting something new like that, it's hard. It's like you're going up a steep mountain. It is difficult, but as long as you keep on going, you will make progress. And that attitude is really important as well. Being patient, not expecting to get there overnight, and picking up all the small wins, all the little victories, little bits of progress. These private victories, they make a difference. Yeah, absolutely. So basically, each year gets easier than the previous, but of course it's hard. When you're going for it in all areas of life, it's not easy. It's a battle, and you have to become a warrior in your life to really do this. It's the only way. You've got to commit and say, okay, for the next 3 years, I'm going to be a warrior, go out there, take action, and get results. It's ultimately, that's the decision you have to come to. But over time, it does become easier, and you will thank yourself in future when you've made a decent amount of progress. So that's a massive reason why people don't commit to growing as a person, because they know it's going to be a steep learning curve, and they're scared. They're scared of finding out that they're not quite where they want to be in life right now. But what I say is, you only live once. You are where you are. Just start. Why procrastinate? Go for it. You can handle it. Even if you're not where you want to be, you can always change that. So just go for it, take action, start, build the habit, get around some supportive people who are also going through similar challenges, to make it seem better, less daunting. And you can start small. You can be working on your health and fitness, exercising, diet, go into more socials. And over time, when you're getting more confident with that, you'll start to organize things. You'll tidy in your room. You've got a calendar. You work on boundaries with different people. Keep on getting better at that. It's a bit like going to the gym, and you're building muscle. You're becoming a confidence athlete, a social athlete, and you're going out there and putting the reps in. You're training. You're training for your future. And it is like a workout. It's, as my mentor used to say, it's the good suffering. And absolutely, um, most people that start on a personal development journey make some progress and plateau out. Not many just keep on going. Not many do that. But as long as you do keep on going, you will eventually get there. And being around the right people, having the right support and right advice is making it faster. So it is challenging, it is difficult, but ultimately, I don't know another way other than putting the honest hard work in, getting real life experience, and being motivated, growing. And obviously, with the right attitude and mindset, you're going to have a much more pleasant time, letting go of all the different time pressures, expectations from others. And it's different for different people as well. Absolutely. And the gym's a great metaphor. And going to train on a regular basis, and you'll start to recognize the other people that are regulars there as well. You'll see people that are actually getting results, and you'll realize that they've put the work in for time. They didn't get that physique overnight. It wasn't like that. Regular basis for years. That's how they got the results. It's no fluke. And it's just the truth. The people that are taking shortcuts, starting for a while and stopping, there's a reason why they are where they are. If I'm doing an event for people with social anxiety and I'm looking around the room, I can guarantee that they're not going to be, if they have social anxiety, they're not on top of their diet. They're not doing cardio on a regular basis. They're not regularly going to socials. They're not facing fears and pushing their comfort zone. They're not practicing gratitude and organizing their life. Because if they were doing all of those things, they wouldn't have overwhelming social anxiety. If they were being honest as well, they'd be in a different place. But it's not easy because of the emotions that get in the way, the mindset, the past experiences, the inner blockages. And really, what coaching is help and support and accountability to really go for it, the most direct path from where you are now to where you want to be, not take shortcuts, leave no stone unturned, put the honest hard work in. So you're making progress at a rate that's possible in the real world. It's not a trick, a gimmick, a quick workaround, because these things don't exist. I've been into personal development since I was in college at the age of 17-ish, and I'm 29 now. So I've been down the wrong paths as well as the right paths. And I know that there isn't a fluke or shortcut, a gimmick, a workaround. As my mentor said to me, the answers to your problems in life, they're under your nose. Running, cardio. How regular are you running and doing cardio? What's your diet like? Do you have a great diet? Are you going to a couple of socials a week with good people there? Are you facing your fears and working on your boundaries? Are you taking time to create a vision for yourself and taking action on that? And yeah, habit building, things take time, patience. Les Brown, motivational speaker, talks about patterns of life. If you stick to something for long enough, you're patient, and you learn to become fearless and just keep on going, you're going to make progress in that area and keep on making progress. It just works, but it takes time. I didn't get to this stage of, doing a full-time business overnight. It was hard work. I didn't complete a PhD overnight. That was hard work too. I didn't overcome social anxiety overnight. That was hard work over time as well. Absolutely. So it's very, very easy and convenient to have takeaway food, processed microwave meals, McDonald's hamburgers. It's so easy. The discipline to have a really healthy diet isn't easy. But when you get there with it over time, does it make a big difference? 100%. Does it make you feel better about yourself? Yeah, definitely does. It's a fact. Anyone that does it knows, but it isn't easy to build that habit. Even if it takes you 3 months to get into a habit of eating healthy, that's fine. Just slowly making progress over a period of 3 months, totally cool. Because once you have that habit in place properly, it becomes second nature. And down the line, it's so much easier to maintain when you get over those first few hurdles. And absolutely, it's as well as forming the good habits, letting go of the bad habits. Both are equally difficult. And ultimately, when you're doing the right things, reward yourself. Be proud. When you make a mistake, don't beat yourself up. You're only a human. Reward, but never beat up either. Be kind to yourself, because it's not easy to make lifestyle changes. Absolutely. So the first time you go for a run, of course it's going to hurt, but you're going to gain and grow from doing that. And really what it's about is it's finding a balance where you're outside of your comfort zone, you're pushing yourself, but not to a point where you're going to knock yourself out for a week, where you're going to be overwhelmed. It's about finding that sweet spot. So you're growing and making progress, but you're not overwhelmed either. And when I say being proud of yourself, what I mean is feeling good about taking the right actions. I'm not talking about ego. So I would say that being proud of yourself, in my opinion, is different than ego. Ego is where you're saying that you're better than other people. In my opinion, being proud of your achievements, I think it's a good thing. Giving yourself credit. It's so easy to give other people credit and be kind to others, but it can be a lot harder to be kind to yourself. So 100%, when you're doing the right things, find a way to reward yourself. When you make a mistake, you're a human. We all make mistakes. ignore the mistake, move on from it. And what you're doing is you're developing a positive relationship with yourself. As my mentor taught to me when I was being coached, it's all about the relationship that you have with different areas of life. Relationship with yourself, friends, family, the job you're doing, exercise, all different activities. And I think that there's a big difference between self-esteem and ego. And when we're talking about ego in this context, what we mean is thinking that it's competing with other people and thinking that you're better. But self-esteem, this is basically your belief, the belief that you deserve to be happy in life, the belief that you're competent, the belief that you've got a right to pursue your purpose and pursue your goals. Having a healthy self-esteem, you can have a really, really, really high self-esteem without being egotistical. I really do believe that. In my case, I don't view other people as above me, and I don't view other people as below me either. I genuinely see other people as equal value. I personally don't believe in hierarchies. I think everybody's equal value. So I used to follow this guy many, many, many years ago. And I think he's got a good heart. He has decent intentions overall. I've not seen his stuff for a little while. So I think that he first went down the wrong path in business and life. He made progress with it, got a lot of clients, made a lot of money, did help some people out, but it wasn't quite the right path. Crashed and had to transform and change the lifestyle. It's an interesting question. So I benefited from it a little bit, but what helped me out more is receiving mentorship. Going down to London, one-to-one sessions with a mentor, that helped me out a lot more. And I'll tell you why. So any course or content is general. It's aimed at everybody. It's not specific and it's not tailored to you. Probably there's a difference between learning information and doing things properly as well. And it's just like if you wanted to get fit and healthy, would you get better results from an online system to get fit and healthy or getting personal training? In my opinion, when you're having somebody in the flesh teach you, it's so much better. And that's interesting. So my experience was the same as your friends. I got some value. But did it completely change my life? No. But also, you can't expect any one thing on its own to change your life. And you could say that the same information can get different results in different hands. Coaching people, not every single person gets the same results. Most people make some progress. Some people make incredible progress. It depends on the person, the situation, so many factors. So transformation mastery is all about the idea of it, I do believe is good. The idea is getting better at handling your triggers. And triggers are these situations, events that make you feel afraid. They bring up strong emotions. Maybe you feel ashamed, angry, guilty. And it's all about feeling the emotions that are there and sensations around triggers. And ultimately, that's what all coaching is about. But just sitting in a room by yourself, visualizing and feeling sensations, there's something to be said for it. But you have to be going out there and getting the real world experience to actually transform. What's going to make you confident giving a public talk? Having meditated on giving a public talk, or having done 30 already? It's the raw experience that's going to count and make a difference. So the action taken in the real world, combined with connecting to your own emotions, processing your triggers, etc., that's going to make the biggest difference. So there's value in all these things, but expecting a product like that to take you from A to Z, from a starting point to your ultimate dreams in life, it is highly unlikely. It's going to get you from A to Z. It's going to take a hell of a lot more than that. And this is just the truth. People want a shortcut. They want a gimmick. And a lot of these things, they work a bit, but by themselves, they're not enough. So exercising, going to the gym a lot, will that make you more confident? Yeah, for sure. Will it solve all your problems in life on its own? No, it's not going to do that much, but it will improve your life. It'll boost it. Getting your diet right, that's the same. It's not going to solve every single problem you've got in life, but it will improve your life significantly. Going to a couple of socials a week, practicing honesty, pushing your comfort zone, meeting new people. Will that improve your life? Absolutely, but it won't solve all your issues. So you have to do lots of things to make massive progress and transform, and not expect one practice or one activity to be your secret weapon, your route to success. It's going to take a lot more than that. And knowing this is helpful, you can't rely on one method. But there is tried and tested things that do work. They're right under our noses, and it's doing these things consistently over time. Taking your own advice as well. You can listen to me for inspiration, but you have to get your own life experiences, because your experience in the real world, that's where the value is. And I appreciate that, Tarun. You enjoyed the last coffee social. I had a blast as well. And other people, there are people that have tried to copy me because my coffee socials are working so well. But because I'm consistent, I never cancel events. They always go ahead. Good energy, good people. People can tell it's genuine. They can tell it's good. And I've put the work in. So mine stand out, and people come to them and people enjoy them. So yeah, it's no secret as to why my coffee socials have took off. Wasn't overnight. It was 33 attempts, and probably took 20 odd to have them get to a decent number. So ultimately, it's great that I'm getting lots of people come to my coffee events. But it took a long time, a lot of work, and ultimately that's why it got to where it got to. But because I know the process now and it's expanding all the time, I'm excited to see where it gets to. And soon I'm going to be filling the capacity of the venue where I'm at. So I'm going to have to go for somewhere bigger and just keep it growing all of the time. So yeah, the coffee socials are a lot of fun. And one of the reasons why I put them on is because I know that people aren't going to get confident staying at home reading books. They're not going to get confident watching YouTube videos. They need practical, real world experience to get that in-person confidence, expressing themselves, coming out of their shell, making new friends, etc. And that's the reason why I put these events on, to give people the experience that they actually need. I'm just reading this. Well, there you go. So maybe in the future, when the business keeps on growing, give me a couple of years and I'll face my fear of hiring a team. And like I was saying before, I was joking with a friend that if my coffee socials keep on growing at this rate and I fast forward 10 years, I'll have 500 people there, which would be a crazy coffee social. But yeah, bringing people together and having people open up and share their stories, talk about challenges they've overcome. It really creates an inspiring energy, and you can feel it when people are sharing and being vulnerable in this strong way from this place. It inspires people a lot. And what I'm getting is people with social anxiety, they're spending 2 hours at one of my coffee socials and they're hanging around for 5 hours afterwards, openly chatting to everybody. So people that are really quiet, struggle to speak, they're opening up, coming out of their shell and making new friends. And what that shows is the value of being listened to, heard, understood. Well, that's the thing. I used to do 3 events a month, and I now do 1. But the great thing is, I can always get more people at my events. So even if I can only be in one place at one time, I can reach more people at once. And I look up to entrepreneurs with a lot more experience than me, like Tony Robbins. And they have events with, 500 people, 1,000 people, amazing energy, and people are loving it. So I want to keep on going with these events, the public talks. And also as well, all the coaches and teachers in the personal development industry, they know that public speaking is one of the best ways to build confidence, which is one of the reasons why so many teachers do public talks themselves, because it keeps you confident. And the great thing is, I can use the event as a platform to give people a chance to overcome the fear of public speaking. And you're right, Tyrone. So usually some people stick around after the event in the mailbox in Birmingham, where the event is, and just stick around chatting. And it's really, really nice to see this happening. Lots of friendships and connections forming. I remember one of the earlier events that I did. This is quite a long time ago, Tyrone. It might have even been 1 or 2 times before you came to an event. So I'm going back a while. There was 2 people who they just moved to the country, just moved to the UK from India, and they basically became friends at one of my socials. And I spotted them in town, going to the cinema, hanging out together, and it was nice to see me connecting people just by putting on a coffee social. So yeah, it's really, really interesting, and I'm going to keep on finding new ways to grow and build on what's already working. You know the saying that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And also, if something works, why not keep building it and make it better? The sky's the limit. And you're absolutely right. I think there was one event that started. So one of the coffee socials started at 2 p.m. and I think we didn't leave until 10 p.m. I remember that one. So that was, 8 hours 8 hours of socializing, which is an impressively long time. If it was nearly 11, then that means 9 hours of socializing, which is a very, very, very long time. And something that I noticed, kind of interesting and fun, when you're socializing non-stop for a lot of hours, when it gets to like hours 7, 8, and 9, people speak really, really fast, fluently, and everybody understands every word as well. I was shattered as well. It's far too long to be out socializing, to be honest. But it's great as a social experiment to watch because people come there really, really nervous and they warm up so much that they're just in state, they're in the zone. And for several hours, everybody is super confident. And it's really about the culture. And this is why I love improv comedy as a personal hobby and recommend it to clients. Because the culture is that everything you say is supported and encouraged. If you make a mistake, you celebrate the mistake because you had the bravery to have a go and risk getting something wrong. So the culture is never shut down somebody and make them feel bad. Always support people and amplify their idea. So it gets people feeling like they're safe to express themselves and the confidence is just unlocked. And I lost track of time as well. Like I didn't plan the social to last for what was it? Did we say 8 hours or something, or maybe even 9 hours? I didn't go out there with that intention. It just happened to go that way. And I think I felt tired for about 2 days after that social, because 9 hours is a long time to be non-stop talking for. But also as well, after that amount of time, because people are so open, it can feel like you know people really, really well when you've met them for one day, but you've spent a whole day with them and spoke about all kinds of different topics. And I guess that's the thing, like, if you have like very surface level conversations with people, you're not forming deep connections. But if you're opening up, you're being vulnerable, and you're talking with emotions, and they're doing the same, you're forming much stronger, faster, and deeper connections. So people go away after a day and they really feel strongly bonded. An example of that from the event you're talking about, from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. You know a guy that comes to my events, Gregory. So Gregory was chatting to a girl that went to a few events called Hong, and they actually agreed to go to some other socials together as friends just for fun. So they since went to some board game socials and different ones in Birmingham, or they plan to at least. So people are forming these networks and helping each other out, which is great to see. And we're talking about losing the concept of time. You know, they say that time flies when you're having fun, and it flies when you're fully connected to the present moment. You're giving a lot, and there's just a great exchange going on. That's why this live stream, I actually, in my mind, I thought I'll do a quick, a 30-minute live stream. Then here I am chatting. It's, almost an hour and a half, still talking. And I've been coaching all day. And as I said before, I'm coaching Liam today. No, so the two Indian people that met and became friends. But yeah, Greg and Hong, they're just going to other socials together, which is really, really nice. They're going to, or they planned on going to a board game social, which is pretty cool. and I'm coaching, I always go way longer than I intend to. And actually, it's a good sign. It's because I'm enjoying myself, getting lost in the moment and losing track of time. And absolutely, so it is definitely something that I do. And even in today's session, I was really enjoying it. So it went on a bit longer than I planned, but I didn't mind because it was a lot of fun. And tomorrow I'm coaching Greg. So I'm going to wake up and get a run in and get myself focused. And I'm going to a social with him, then doing a one-to-one as well. So keeping on chipping away at getting him to push his comfort zone, get more confident, working on boundaries, working on all these things which are not easy but benefit down the line. And of course, like you said, it takes a long time to learn boundaries with people. It's not easy. Probably one of the hardest things that I've learned personally, but it's so much better when you have them, and it actually makes you kinder having good boundaries. And absolutely, Greg's a lovely guy. I've never heard him say a bad word about anybody. He has a good sense of humor. He's joking. And like you said, he's a regular, turns up in good spirits, good values. And yeah, he really enjoys the group. And also as well, he's got the courage to go to other meetups as well, which is amazing. And I've been encouraging him to just keep on meeting new people, doing new things. So he does hiking ones, and yeah, he's a very, very genuine, very, very kind person for sure. Yeah, he certainly is, and he's definitely overcome stuff, and very, very much enjoying the gym. And just like you, he's working on the diet as well, which isn't easy. If you work from home and you have very tasty and tempting food in the fridge, it's going to be hard to resist it. But yeah, making progress. And yeah, it's crazy. Connecting so many people. Even the other day, I was speaking to Amrit, who you know from the events as well. So yeah, and that's the thing. Quite a lot of people that I'm coaching work from home. Greg works from home. Keith works from home. Several people I'm coaching do. And it's part of modern culture. And one of the challenges is that if you actually work from home, you're spending time in front of the computer, not out there properly speaking to people. It's hard to break away from that and have conversations. It can almost feel like you're a bit rusty, a bit off key, because you're isolated from people. And if you're working from home, you really have to build a lifestyle to stop yourself getting into a space like that, because isolation is the cause of social anxiety. And if I interpret you right, Taran, are you saying you want to work from home? In that? So what I would say is that it doesn't necessarily matter where you work, but it is important to have social contact in your life. Really, really important. Even if it's just twice a week, spending 2 times a week with good people where you can open up, be yourself, have fun, have a laugh and joke, talk about life, that's going to improve your life quality a lot. And that's accessible for everybody. Just go on meetup.com, look on Eventbrite, see what's going on. If you have hobbies, find communities where you can pursue that hobby and meet new people. For example, I really enjoy running. So me joining different running groups, running communities, that allows me to meet people, connect, and just be myself. And you make an interesting point. So lots of entrepreneurs, they spend time by themselves. They're running a solo business. I'm running a solo business, but I'm lucky in that my business is coaching people. So I'm spending a lot of time having face-to-face conversations with people. And I've got quite an active lifestyle. But a lot of entrepreneurs, they're on a laptop all day, and you need to find a way to counterbalance that. Going to the gym is great, makes a big difference. Sports, coffee socials, time with family. You can't just be working all the time. The socializing is really, really important for recharging your batteries. And it's important to get it in the right dose. Not overdosing yourself where it's draining, but just the right amount. I'm just making sure I'm reading these messages. So obviously, the big benefit of people working from home is convenience. You don't need to commute. You're in control of your own conditions, and some people really enjoy it. But I actually prefer to be out of the house. I prefer to be out, go to nice places. If I'm coaching somebody, I can go to a really, really nice coffee shop, a nice hotel, for example, and I can coach people there. So I'm in a nice environment. Yeah, absolutely. And I guess a lot of people might have learned this lesson during COVID times when there was a lockdown, social isolation, and the anxiety that results from that. I learned that lesson a long time ago when I was in high school, the dangers of being isolated. And of course, being an entrepreneur, you have to face various fears and work hard, but also you're free. You're a free man, free woman. You can live your own life in your way. You're your own boss. You're in charge of your time, when you start, when you stop, and you can do things that you actually enjoy. As long as you can find a way to provide value, help people, and you can monetize that, brilliant. You've got a great setup where you're helping out the world and you're also in control of your own time. But the journey of getting there isn't easy, and anyone can do it with enough hard work over time. But don't be fooled into thinking that there's gimmicks or shortcuts. And what helps you out as an entrepreneur, as well as having a valuable service or product, is having great people skills. Because you're serving people, you're helping people. So it's important to not neglect your own personal transformation. It's important to not let your own ego, your own ideas, your own issues get in the way of your ability to provide value and help others out. True. And entrepreneurs can also, they can be like a nomad with a laptop. They can potentially work from anywhere. I could just do all my coaching via video calls. There's some people who I've coached from LinkedIn video calls, and I could, in theory, just work from home. But I quite enjoy just going somewhere different, somewhere out of the house, coaching people there. And I would say it's ego is a big trap. And yeah, ego is a big trap, and it's hard to be around people with a massive ego. As soon as you can let go of the ego and treat other people equally, so much better, so much lighter, so much less stress. The ego is a giant blockage to communication. You had to admit. Um, so the truth is that I don't really, I don't concern myself with people who are very, very self-entitled. I don't worry about it because they're on their path in life. I'm on my path. So I don't even focus on it. And the way I see it is karma takes care of people. So if somebody, for example, is a liar, what's their punishment? The biggest punishment for a liar is that they can't trust other people. Since they're not trustworthy themselves, they can't trust others. So people that are self-entitled, they're probably it's gonna come back to them. If someone's got a big ego, that's gonna come back to bite them as well. So I say, don't worry about other people and whether they're self-entitled or not. The great thing is you're not like that. Amazing. You have the awareness. You recognize the strengths in others as well as your own, and you're on your path. You don't need to compare yourself to others or compete with them. The only battle going on is always you versus yourself. So don't engage in negativity, negative narratives. Any narrative or story playing inside your brain that isn't helpful to you doesn't deserve to be fed. Don't feed those inner demons, the monsters. It's not helpful. Instead, let go of any hate, any grudge. Even if people are really annoying, the more you let go of it, the lighter you'll be. And the more of your focus and brain power can be geared towards moving forwards. As Tony Robbins said, he says that don't focus on the fears that are holding you back. Focus on what you need to do to get to where you want to be in life. Just let go of things that drag you back and move forwards. And any kind of hate towards anybody never really helps you out. Focus on it doesn't do anything. You can't change other people. You can only change yourself. So even if somebody is very, very egotistical and hard to like, switch off from that person. You can make progress in your life. Let them do things their way. Trust me, at some point, it will come back to bite them. It's not the right path to be on. They might rise quickly and also fall quite quickly. And the great thing is, you've learned the kind of person that you don't want to be, which means you know who you do want to be. That's really, really valuable. You could say that the self-entitled people, they've actually helped you out because they've shown you who you want to be and who you don't want to be. They've given you direction. They've given you clarity. They've given you a clear vision of the kind of person that you want to be. Amazing. You can focus on that because ultimately you want to really like yourself. You want to respect yourself. You want to value yourself. You want to be the person that you want to be. So examples of people that you don't want to be like, they're really, really helpful. It's like, okay, I don't want to be like that, but I do want to be like that. That's nice. That's a positive. And as you can probably see, I can notice it's getting darker outside. It's obviously darker on the stream. I can see the lamppost going on, which generally means that I've spent a lot longer on the stream than I intended. Okay, so it's getting near 10 p.m. And yeah, so just before I finish this stream, I totally agree with the point you're making. being the best version of yourself, that is the best way to be. An image that someone else has of how you should be, an expectation, even if you filled it, you wouldn't be living your life. There's a pressure and expectation. Take the pressure off, just be yourself. And it's like, this is me, take it or leave it. Let them judge you. If they judge you, that's their prerogative. That's their problem. You can't please everybody. So stop trying to please everybody. Just be yourself. Enjoy life. Focus on the things that are important to you. And let everything else just fall the way it's meant to fall. So on that note, I think it's a good time to sign off from this live stream. I guess I have hit that brief and spent quite a bit of time focused on how to overcome grudges and all these different behaviors we're talking about. They come from different places. And when you're being yourself and giving value, you're not trying to take anything, you're giving. No manipulation. That's when the best connections form, the best things happen. So 100%, the more you can let go of grudges, the better. And it was good chatting to you as well, Tarun. I really have been working all day. I set off this morning at about 8 a.m. and I'm finishing now at 10 p.m. So I think it's time to rest now. So that I hope that you got value from this live stream. If you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to email me if you want to attend my free coffee socials that go on every month. And also, I give each new person one free one-to-one coaching session via a video call. So again, if you want to try a free coaching therapy session, drop me an email. I'll be in touch. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.